Hi there, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Tiani, and in this video I'm going to share my VBAC success story. So before I start, I just want to make a disclaimer. I am not a medical doctor, so please make sure that you are cleared by your gynecologist or your GP before applying any of the information or considering it, so that they can evaluate you regarding your individual needs. I also want to say that I am a Christian, and everything that I'm going to say is based on God's grace and mercy on my life. I would have not been able to see it through without His grace and His hand over my life. So I had a VBAC with my third daughter. With my first pregnancy, I had a vaginal birth. My second pregnancy, it was an emergency C-section because our daughter was in breech position. And then with the third daughter, I had a VBAC. So I knew from the start that I would like to give birth vaginally, and that is why I gave my body more than enough time to heal, especially my scar. Because I'm sure if you've done a Google search, you would have read that it's just everywhere. It just says uterine rupture everywhere, and people are warning you against it, and it's everywhere. Okay, so it can be quite scary. So I made sure that I gave my body enough time to heal. And what I experienced was quite interesting because I went for a consultation at my gynecologist, and he said that I can go for it, but there's obviously risks. And he went through it, and I said, okay, it's fine. I'll go home and read up about it even more. Not that I haven't read more than enough information about it already. And then I just felt, okay, by default, I felt, okay, no, I will have to have a C-section. It's the safest option for me as a mother and for the baby. And as the days progressed, I started to feel that I didn't have as much peace about my decision than I would like to have. And I realized that I was making this decision based on fear because I was so scared of things going wrong. And I realized that as an individual, I can't live my life like that. I can't not step out and do things because of a fear of what can go wrong. It's like stepping on an aeroplane and you are scared that it's going to fall. There's always a chance of something going wrong. And I just realized that, and I said it to my husband, I said, I cannot make this decision purely because I'm afraid. And the one morning I was busy getting dressed, and I could just hear in my spirit, I could hear the Holy Spirit ask me, Tiani, can you trust me again? And as quickly as that question popped up into my spirit, I answered, yes, Lord, I can and I will trust you. And I knew immediately that God was speaking about me, my birth, and trusting Him with a vaginal birth, and just the original plan that I had in mind. Because that is what the enemy does. He plants seeds of doubt and fear and uncertainty in your mind, and then you start to doubt, is this really God's plan for my life? So yeah, anyway, long story short, something that did surprise me is my pregnancy went on for longer than I expected. Because it was my third pregnancy, I expected to be pregnant for 38, 39 weeks perhaps, but it continued and continued, and people so many people asked me, when is the baby coming? When is the baby coming? When is the baby coming? So in South Africa, they prefer that you don't go over 41 weeks, and then they recommend induction. So luckily for me, my 41 weeks was exactly on a Saturday. So my gynecologist said, okay, it's fine, we can wait till the Monday. So I would say that Sunday I did start to feel slight contractions, but nothing very intense. And obviously, I was like very eager for it to start because I wanted to go into labor naturally. I was curb walking, I was doing YouTube exercise videos, I was drinking birthing tea and all of it just to try and get myself into labor, okay? But unfortunately, it didn't happen by itself. So the Monday morning, I was checked into the hospital or admitted into the hospital, and my gynecologist did a mechanical induction. So it's simply, and you can go and read up about it, it's a folly balloon catheter that they put inside of you with a weight, and then basically the weight pulls on the catheter, and then it helps you to dilate. Okay. You first tried a smaller size, which remained inside for maybe 20 minutes or so, and then he inserted a bigger one, and yeah, that didn't stick at all. It immediately popped out, like within minutes. I almost want to say maybe even seconds. I don't even know if it was a full minute. So, and then he explained to me it's probably because it's my third pregnancy. So, yeah. And and I didn't have any contractions. So, because it's a VBAC, they can't give you, or at least my gynecologist said he is not going to give me any chemical induction. So I asked him, can we please just wait? And that is why I am emphasizing so much that your service provider, your gynecologist, is such an important person, because he said it's fine, let's give your body some time and let's have a look at how things look the next morning. So yeah, as the day progressed, I did feel contractions here and there, and yeah, I just walked up and down the corridors of the hospital, and they would check me, and then they see I'm only 2 centimeters dilated every single time, and they keep on telling me I'm not dilating fast enough, I'm not dilated, I almost want to say at all. So yeah, that evening I started to feel very intense contractions, and yeah, I almost want to say as I went into active labor, I started to feel urges to push, and within a few minutes, I was 9-10 centimeters dilated, and I was ready to give birth very early Tuesday morning. So, yeah, I didn't even have much of painkillers or anything like that, because they did put me on the pain pump that you can, I think you can press it every 3 minutes or so. But yeah, the doctor then, or the gynecologist then said, okay, no, I should leave that so that I can feel when I'm pushing the baby out. And yeah, so that's what I did. Everything went well, no complications whatsoever. She was 3.8 kilograms, so she was a bit bigger than my previous children, which is common. Apparently, children do tend to grow bigger and bigger with subsequent pregnancies. And yeah, that's it. So, what did I do? Like I said, I've tried almost everything to get myself to go into labor. Uh, you never know what actually works and what doesn't work. But I did do a lot of swimming while I was pregnant because it just removed so much pressure from my pelvis and from my back. And like I said, in the end, I did some curb walking. And then something that I tried with this pregnancy that I didn't try with my other two is I did drink a birthing tea, which you can find in South Africa, which I will share the tea in the description. It's not a ad or anything. And I just saw very good reviews for this particular tea. I can't really say if it made a massive difference, uh, regarding how fast I gave birth or something like that. But I did read that they say that it helps significantly to ripen the cervix. And I think in my case, it also did that. So I would say that it probably assisted my body a lot to prepare for birth. So, yeah, I tried it from, I think, 37 weeks onwards. So, for that, just over a month, that I had multiple cups a day of that particular um, birthing tea. I can't remember what they call it. But yeah, I think just trust your body. If you're a Christian and you believe in God, just trust in God's plan for your life. And if you have peace about your decision, you can do it. And God will see you through.